everyone! Welcome to Speak Unstoppable. I'm Maria, and I'm joined by John, my partner in exploring all the tricky yet exciting parts of learning English naturally.
Hey, Maria, there's something about moving to a new country and suddenly realizing you have to rent stuff, apartments, cars, shops, that makes me feel like I've stepped into a maze without a map.
Exactly, and that's why today's conversation is perfect. We're talking about how to rent almost anything when you're abroad, from homes and offices to cars and other essentials. It can seem overwhelming, but don't worry, we'll make it simple and fun.
Oh, yes. I remember my first rental experience abroad. I didn't know if I should ask about electricity bills, deposits, or even the lease length. I just nodded and hoped for the best.
Don't worry, John. That's a story many of our viewers can relate to. And today, we'll guide you step by step through the process, adding a little humor so it's not just informative, but also super enjoyable.
The best part is, by the end of this chat, you'll have practical English phrases and tips you can actually use in real life.
Before we dive in, if you like what we do here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps us keep creating these helpful conversations for you.
All right, let's start with something very common, renting a home.
So, when renting a home, the first thing you'll notice is the monthly payment. That's the amount you'll pay every month. Then there's the security deposit, which can vary depending on the country and landlord.
And it's important to ask clearly, how much is the monthly payment? Is the deposit refundable? Are any utilities included?
Exactly. And here's a tip. Always inspect the property carefully before signing. Check for scratches, leaks, or broken items. Take photos. This will protect you when it's time to move out.
And if you're sharing the space with roommates, you need to know who will handle electricity and internet bills. How is the rent split?
Perfect point. Now, let's move on to vehicles. Renting a car abroad is slightly different. Sometimes you pay daily, sometimes weekly, and insurance is always essential.
Yes, useful phrases include, I'd like to rent a car for 3 days. Does this rental include insurance? Are there mileage limits?
And remember, always read the rental agreement carefully. Sometimes additional fees like GPS rental, extra driver fees, or fuel charges are not obvious.
I learned that the hard way. I ended up paying extra because I didn't check the fuel policy. Lesson learned.
Exactly. And now for shops or commercial spaces. Renting these can be trickier. Long-term contracts, additional maintenance fees, and utilities are often part of the lease.
Always clarify what's included. Questions like, what is included in the rent? How long is the lease term? Are utilities or maintenance fees covered?
And don't forget polite negotiation. Sometimes asking respectfully can reduce rent slightly or adjust deposit terms.
Another thing first-time renters often miss is the furniture and appliance checklist. In furnished spaces, clarify what's included: fridges, washing machines, furniture.
Exactly. And always ask about move-in and move-out responsibilities. Some landlords expect you to hire cleaners before leaving. Others deduct the cost from the deposit.
And beware of early termination clauses. Leaving earlier than agreed can cost you extra money or part of your deposit.
That's why creating a checklist is essential. Monthly rent, deposit amount, utilities, included furniture appliances, move-in and move-out responsibilities, early termination rules.
And if we talk about cars abroad, similar rules apply. Insurance, mileage limits, and fuel policies are key. Ask clearly to avoid surprises.
For commercial spaces, make sure you understand all charges, including property taxes, common area fees, or additional maintenance costs.
And the fun side? Sometimes unexpected things happen. Like, I rented a flat once and the neighbor had a parrot that screamed at 6 a.m. daily.
Yes, small surprises. Inspecting the property, asking about neighbors or pets, and understanding the environment makes a huge difference.
Exactly. It's not just about the paperwork, it's about feeling comfortable in your new place.
And that's our advice for anyone renting abroad. Prepare, clarify, inspect, and know the vocabulary.
With these tips, renting a house, car, or shop becomes much less stressful and even exciting.
Yes, small steps, smart planning, and proper English phrases make everything smoother and enjoyable.
So breathe, relax. Renting abroad can be a positive adventure.
John, last time we covered the basics monthly rent, deposits, and inspection tips. But there's a lot more that can sneak up on you when renting abroad.
Ah, yes, the infamous hidden costs. Things you don't notice until the bill arrives and suddenly you're paying double.
Exactly. Many lease agreements include extra charges that aren't obvious at first glance. Maintenance fees, garbage disposal, parking, even internet sometimes. Always go through the contract carefully.
And deposits. I once paid a deposit and didn't realize they deduct for normal wear and tear. When moving out, I got back far less than expected.
That's why documenting everything at move-in is crucial. Take photos of scratches, leaks, broken items. These little steps protect your deposit.
And utilities can be another surprise. Some landlords include electricity, water, or gas, while others expect you to handle everything. Internet is often extra too.
Exactly. And phrases that help you clarify, are utilities part of the rent? What's the average monthly electricity bill? Who is responsible for internet charges?
I remember asking about internet, and the landlord's explanation sounded like a law lecture. I nodded politely but understood almost nothing.
That's why practicing these questions before meeting a landlord is so helpful. Don't hesitate to ask for clear examples if something seems confusing.
Another area that can be tricky is negotiation. Some landlords expect it, some don't. But polite negotiation can save you a lot.
For example, would you consider lowering the monthly rent if I sign a longer lease? Can the deposit be split into two payments?
And for furnished rentals, it's essential to confirm what's included. Fridge, washer, furniture. Sometimes contracts are vague.
Yes, and clarify responsibilities for move in and move out. Some landlords expect professional cleaning before leaving, while others deduct the cost from your deposit.
And don't forget early termination clauses. Leaving earlier than agreed may cost extra or reduce your deposit.
That's why making a detailed checklist is essential. Rent amount and payment schedule, deposit and conditions, utilities included or separate, appliances and furniture, move in or out responsibilities, early termination rules.
If we move to vehicle rentals, the rules are similar. Insurance, mileage limits, and fuel policy are critical. Asking the right questions prevents surprises.
Exactly. For example, does insurance cover accidents? Are there penalties for late return? Are there mileage restrictions?
And for commercial spaces, extra charges can include property taxes, maintenance fees, and common area costs. Always clarify these before signing.
And now the fun part, unexpected situations. Once I rented a flat abroad and discovered the previous tenant's cat was still around. It took me a week to realize it had free reign of the balcony.
Or imagine moving in and finding your neighbor's parrot sings at dawn every day. These small surprises are part of the adventure.
Exactly, John. Inspecting the property carefully, asking about neighbors or pets, and understanding the local rules makes life much easier.
And don't forget, sometimes landlords have informal expectations, like regular garden maintenance or trash disposal rules. Checking early saves headaches later.
Yes, planning ahead, asking the right questions, and using practical phrases in English will make renting abroad a lot smoother.
With this knowledge, renting anything, a home, a car, or a shop, becomes manageable and even enjoyable.
And remember, small actions like reading the contract carefully, documenting the space, and clarifying fees can save time, money, and stress.
So take a deep breath. Renting abroad can be an exciting experience if you're prepared.
John, I was thinking, one thing that surprises almost every newcomer is the mistakes people make when renting abroad.
Oh yes, like the time someone booked an apartment without confirming the floor, and it turned out to be on the 7th with no elevator. Can you imagine dragging all your luggage?
Exactly. That's why it's important to check all the practical details before committing. Things like proximity to stores, transportation options, or even local noise levels can make a huge difference.
And another common pitfall is not asking about hidden costs beyond utilities. For example, in some countries, you may need to pay for cleaning supplies, security monitoring, or even building amenities.
Yes, and first time renters often underestimate how much furniture or appliances they need. Sometimes it's easier and cheaper to verify what's included before renting rather than buying extra stuff later.
Oh, and language misunderstandings. Even simple words can cause confusion. One friend thought monthly service charge was optional and ended up paying double at the end of the year.
That's why clarifying everything clearly is a lifesaver. Even asking, "Could you explain what this charge covers?" can prevent misunderstandings.
Another mistake is assuming deposits are always returned in full. Some landlords may deduct small fees for minor repairs unless you have proper documentation.
Exactly. Taking notes, keeping receipts, and maintaining a checklist can help. It's all about being proactive.
And let's talk about money-saving strategies. For instance, some places allow longer leases for discounted rent. Asking politely about monthly reductions for extended contracts often works.
Yes, or sometimes paying a few months in advance can help you negotiate better terms. It's always worth asking.
Another tip is checking multiple options before deciding. Browsing online platforms, local listings, or even asking expat communities can reveal better deals than the first place you see.
Absolutely. And don't underestimate the power of word of mouth recommendations. Sometimes locals or other renters know the hidden gems that online listings don't highlight.
Now for the fun side, unexpected or quirky situations. Once, a friend rented a flat and found that the previous tenant left a small garden gnome collection everywhere. She laughed so much, but it definitely added character.
Or, I know someone whose apartment had a mysterious sound from the pipes every night. Turns out it was just the heating system, but at first it sounded like a ghost.
These small surprises are part of the adventure. They make every rental experience memorable, even if a little confusing at first.
And knowing how to handle these scenarios politely and efficiently is key. Simple phrases like, "Could you clarify this for me? Is this something I should be concerned about? Can we discuss a small adjustment?"
Yes, being polite but clear goes a long way. It helps you communicate effectively without misunderstandings.
Another helpful strategy is setting a budget before even looking at options. That way, you know exactly what range works for you and avoid overspending.
And don't forget about seasonal fluctuations. Rent can be cheaper during certain months, or some landlords may offer special promotions. Timing can make a big difference.
Exactly. And always check transportation convenience. Renting a place near a bus stop or train station can save both money and time in the long run.
And if we're talking about practical tips, always ask about internet speed, electricity reliability, and water supply. These are often overlooked, but they're crucial for day-to-day comfort.
Yes. And lastly, remember that asking questions is never a weakness. Clarifying small details now can save a lot of stress later.
So, whether it's quirky neighbors, unusual fees, or minor surprises, staying prepared, polite, and informed makes renting abroad a much smoother experience.
Exactly. Renting abroad is a mix of strategy, observation, and a little adventure. The more you learn, the more confident you feel.
And don't forget to enjoy the process. Even small mishaps can turn into funny stories you'll tell later.
So take your time, prepare smartly, and make the adventure of renting abroad something exciting rather than stressful. John, after everything we've discussed, I think it's important to share some final tips that can really make renting abroad less stressful.
Oh, yes, like a survival guide for first-time renters. Step 1. Always double-check the details. Even if it feels tedious, it saves a lot of headaches later.
Absolutely. Small details like keys, access codes, and parking spaces can be overlooked, but they matter. Confirm everything before moving in.
And what if something goes wrong? Like a sudden repair issue or a misunderstanding about fees?
That's where problem solving comes in. Always communicate politely and clearly. Simple phrases like, "Could we schedule a convenient time for repairs? I noticed this issue and wanted to discuss possible solutions. Would it be possible to adjust the charges?"
Yes. Being calm and reasonable usually gets better results than stressing out or arguing.
And keep in mind, sometimes landlords may expect small compromises. Flexibility helps, but only if you know your rights and limits.
Another tip, network with locals or other renters. They can provide valuable advice about trustworthy landlords, average rent, and hidden costs.
Exactly. Online forums, community groups, and social media pages for expats are great resources. First-hand experiences often reveal things you won't find in contracts.
Let's talk about documentation. Keeping copies of contracts, receipts, and communications is vital. It ensures you can resolve disputes if anything arises.
Yes, and having a record of payments is equally important. Even small bills, deposits, or service fees, document them all.
And what about safety? Sometimes renters forget to check for emergency contacts, building security, and neighborhood safety.
Good point. Always ask about these things up front. Knowing the basics ensures peace of mind and allows you to enjoy your stay.
Now for a fun part, handling unexpected quirks. Like the time someone rented an apartment and the water heater worked only every other day.
Or the neighbor with a drum practice at midnight. These situations can be frustrating, but keeping a sense of humor and staying patient makes life easier.
Exactly. And being polite while raising concerns usually leads to faster solutions than complaining loudly.
Another final tip, budget and plan for small emergencies. Sometimes appliances break, repairs are needed, or minor fees pop up unexpectedly. A small reserve fund goes a long way.
And don't forget to inspect the property periodically. Regular checks prevent small issues from turning into bigger problems.
Yes, John. Preparing mentally and practically makes renting abroad feel manageable rather than stressful. And remember, each experience teaches you something new.
Absolutely. Even mistakes or funny mishaps become stories to laugh about later. The key is to stay calm, informed, and patient.
And for our viewers, always remember these three things: clarity, preparation, and communication. Master these, and you'll handle renting anywhere in the world with confidence.
And now, if you've enjoyed this journey with us today, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Sharing your experiences or questions helps us make even more useful videos for everyone learning English naturally.
Yes, and we'd love to hear from you. Have you ever faced a funny or tricky renting situation abroad? Share it in the comments below, and let's learn and laugh together.
So, take a deep breath, stay prepared, and enjoy the adventure of renting abroad. It's a journey full of learning, fun, and sometimes surprises.
And remember, wherever you are, Speak Unstoppable is here to help you navigate English and real-life situations comfortably.
See you in the next conversation. Until then, stay curious, stay confident, and keep exploring.